there, I'm Colin Weston with the Mod Golf Podcast. Thanks so much for joining us today. I just finished up a long-form audio podcast with Amaya Athill, and Amaya is the Regional Director for Golf Canada in Ontario, and that conversation dug into all the good things that she's doing there to grow the game, especially for young people, people that are marginalized, disenfranchised, underrepresented. We're going to talk about so many other things. We're going to talk about her golf journey a little bit more, even though we dug deep into that on the Mod Golf Podcast. We're also going to have some quizzes. We're going to do some fun things here today. Well, we always do fun things, but we're going to get extra fun. Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring her on screen here. A little fun fact. This is my fifth take. I only managed to mispronounce your name, which is not that hard to pronounce 4 times there. So a bit embarrassing, but Amaya, thank you for joining us on the Mod Golf YouTube channel.
Thank you for having me. And if your mispronunciation of my name shortened it to Hill, and I'm going to take that as I'm related to Lauren Hill. So thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So my mistake is your benefit there.
It is I love it. I'm happy.
There we go. There we go. So, hey, why don't we just cover 1 or 2 things that we had on the podcast? Why don't we give a little intro here to let people know what you do and why you do it with Golf Canada? But we're going to focus more on what you have as now, last couple of years, you have now been certified as a PGA teaching professional. So congratulations on that. And the work that you're doing with Black women golfers. So we'd love to hear with that too. So first, why don't you let us know who you are? Who is Amaya?
You've said it all. I am a PGA of Canada golf professional. I am the Regional Director of Ontario with Golf Canada. Formerly, I was the manager of the First Tee Ontario program with Golf Canada. I'm the founder of Black Women Golfers, and I'm also a storyteller. I write articles for Score Golf Magazine, which is a large golf magazine in Canada.
Love this. Love this. All right, Amaya. So we're going to have some fun here today. What we're going to do here is, I believe you've got some golf stats that are based in Canada, and you're going to play a little game here, and you're going to see if you can stump me or how close or how ridiculously far away I am for guessing those things. So we're going to do that, but we're going to do something a little bit different here also, is we're going to have you give your 3 easy steps for women especially and young people to get into golf. But before we do that, I'm going to pull up on screen here for the 2 of us. There we go. This is on Instagram. So let us know what you are doing, the formation of Black women's golfers, why you did this, and the impact that you're making in the Greater Toronto area for women for their first golf experience.
Yeah, I love talking about this. So I found a love of introducing Black women to golf when I was living in the UK. And I found that there was an underrepresentation of us on the golf courses when I would play. And it kind of questioned my belonging in the sport. So after putting on 1 event in London, I was hooked. And when I moved to Canada, I decided to create an organization that brings women together, introduces them to golf in a fun, safe, supportive environment, and creates community around the people that are participating. So this group has been I founded this group 3 years ago, and it's gone from strength to strength. It started off with 6 women in a sim in 2023.
Wow.
And it's now grown to 550 folks on a mailing list, with all of our events being sold out within 48 hours.
Wow. So even though it's not traditional green grass golf season in most of Canada, where I am in Vancouver, it's wet, but we can still play. So for the winter season, do you have a lot of indoor events lined up? And when's your next event here?
Yeah, we do. So we take a break from October to January to give me a little bit of a break.
Right.
But we start again in January. So we have a kickoff event in the middle of January where we're going to be doing what we call a meet-up. It's essentially where women can come together, try golf together. We talk a little bit about who we are, what we have coming up. And we kind of just have a no pressure touch point for women to get together through golf. We also have a social league. It's 6 weeks worth of play where women come every week and they play different tournaments and events together. Sometimes it's a chipping competition. Sometimes it's a putting competition. Sometimes we're playing a par 3 course. It depends on the week, and it's always a lot of fun. We have those in 2 locations, Mississauga and Brampton. And those meetups that I mentioned happen monthly in different regions. So the first one's in Toronto. The next one is going to be in Durham, and we move around. We also offer lessons. So as there there's a stat here. Actually, I'll leave that stat as one of the questions for you, actually.
Okay.
But there are very few Black women golf professionals in Canada. And luckily, I and a friend of mine are close by, and we host lessons to get women into golf during the winter season in the simulator as well. And that is literally just from January until April. Haven't even gotten into the summer and spring offerings.
Got it. So on the podcast earlier, we did take a deep dive into the work, your first role with Golf Canada, and that was with the first tee. So we talked about that and the work that you've done and continue to do as far as connecting golf courses and facilities, getting out to young people, meeting them where they are at for their first golf experience. So I do want to focus on the growth of the game with women and the work that you're doing there. And let's start with where we first met. And that was about 3 months ago, because I'm a member of the Golf Journalists Association of Canada, and we had our annual golf event. First time, because I'm in Vancouver, that I went to that. Decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to do it. I grew up in Toronto, so got to see some friends, but went to that event. And that event was at the Ladies Golf Club of Toronto, which I was not even aware of this course before. And I learned a little bit of the history, but we talked about this off camera. And the story of this 100-year plus course is amazing. And I want you to tell the story of the founder and how that course came to be.
I think so. I want to start with saying how wonderful it was to meet you at the GJAC event. It was such a fun event. It's a fun event every year, and bringing together the nerds that like to write about and talk about golf is just wonderful. It's always a great time. So that's first. So the Ladies Golf Club of Toronto, Ada Mackenzie was a trailblazer in her way. So I want you to picture now. I want you to think about what it would take as a woman to purchase property, to have the concept of building a golf course on that property, and to have a functioning golf course that you invite and create communities of women. First of all, that sounds dope. It sounds amazing. But Ada Mackenzie was able to do this in the 1920s. This is unheard of. So she's a trailblazer in her ability to, at a time where women were being excluded from participating fully in the sport of golf, to create a space where she and other women could feel safe. And I love that history. I love that trailblazer spirit. And in the same way that I'm trying to create Black women golfers by Black women, for Black women, or by and for racialized women, Ada Mackenzie did that for women all the way in the 1920s. It's a fight we're still fighting today, but it's definitely something that we can take example from and be proud of.
It's my understanding, the little bit I know about the story, just to add to what you just mentioned, is that during the First World War, of course, the men are off to war. Women at that time were not able to fight in the military, even though they were there in very impactful support roles. But they're at home, not only working, filling those roles, but also then populating the golf courses, because they were available, and that's when women really had their chance. So I'm looking probably about 1917 to 1920 or so. But when the men came back, what happened then?
They, of course, kicked the women off. We're like, wait, this is our space.
Yeah.
But the women were like, well, no.
And I love that with Ada Mackenzie. From what I understand, she's such a badass that, and a trailblazer, as you mentioned, that she didn't then just say, well, I guess that's it for golf for me and all my friends and for women, and then seeing the social and business connections, which is one of the pillars of what you are creating 100 years later. But she didn't take no for an answer. And as you said, she just made it happen in just north of Toronto in Thornhill, where we were. And it's unbelievable. Had the premier golf architect in Canada at the time designed the course, and the rest is history.
And, you know, I think it's something to pause at and think about the fireside chat that we had that day. And the women who were present in the room speaking. You have one of the few women golf architects in the world, Canadian. We have a woman, Claire Walsh, who's leading the CPKC Women's Open, the only LPGA Tour championship hosted in Canada. And then a schmuck like me. You know, I feel like when you think about how important it is that legacy survives through representation of women on panels like that, where we're talking about the work that we're doing in our various spaces. It's so important because it does create a continuation of that legacy. And I hope that the folks in the room who are doing such important jobs, writing about golf, speaking about golf, interviewing people and telling their stories, that they're understanding how, yes, the space was created 100 years ago, but the fight is not over. And we're still here trying to push for representation in so many different areas. I hope that was impressed upon the folks that were there.
Well, it certainly was impressed upon me. And hey, you got to be kind to yourself. There's no imposter syndrome there. You deserve
right.
to be on that panel. Right. The work that you are doing.
Thank you.
And I think you're just you're just getting going here. You're just getting warmed up, which is really exciting. So one of the things that we talked about earlier was with women and also children, but focusing on women right now, is those barriers to entry. I know with my wife, she's a lifelong athlete, loves to move her body, never played golf, even though her mother did, which we lost Helen a couple of years ago at 86, but at 82 had her first and only hole-in-one. I love that story. With that. But my wife, and I know full well, because her other friends, no one plays, no one else in the family plays. I think also that means she'd have to spend even more time with me, which sounds terrible. Like, why would you want to do that? I cannot. It's not like she married you. I'm kind of trapped in my. I'm forced to spend 24 hours a day with me. So I get that. But joking aside, that there's these barriers for someone like her who's very social, professional, and athletic. She's the poster person for playing golf and has just never had that power of invitation. So what we're going to do a little segment here called Amaya's. Well, here, I'm just going to put it on screen here. This is what we're going to do.
The 3 Ps, the 3 easy Ps to get into golf. I'm so ready for this.
There we go. So this is focusing on, well, for anybody at any age, but also how it really impacts women for that first experience. So again, this is what we're going to do. Okay, so what's the first P?
People. So when the women that I work with, they are intimidated to get into golf.
Yeah.
And the easiest way and the lowest barrier way to do it, bring a friend or join a friend who's going, or join a family member who might be going to the range. So even if you might not have a woman in your life that goes, even if you have to spend some extra time with your husband one day, try going to a golf range with him, or join a group class where you're joining other people. So they might be strangers. That might be a little more intimidating than just going with somebody you know, but go when there's people around who are trying to learn the same way as you are. It just makes it fun. So the first one, people.
Nice. We talk about that power of invitation. Sandy Cross, who was the head of people at the PGA of America, who's now moved on. I just found out she just moved on to the Women's Professional Hockey League. She's one of the senior executives there. So Sandy said when she was on the podcast many years ago that the power of invitation, and you need to be one. In order to be one, you need to see one. She even said she didn't invent either of those phrases. We both heard them, but they're so powerful though. And that power of invitation, and I find I make a point of inviting people that have never played golf before for a par 3 pitch and putt. I'll bring the balls, I'll bring the clubs. Takes 2 hours. We'll have some fun. They get a couple of pars, so they get that golf euphoria, as we say. They kind of hit that good shot and they make a par and they're just light up. And it's that first positive step into the game. So as far as to finish up with people here, how about that? Do you make sure you live that? Do you invite friends, even if it's one-on-one, that have never had an experience before in golf?
Absolutely.
So do you actually live that? Do you walk that walk?
All the time. My cousins, my friends, actually, my friends used to hate sleeping over by me because they knew on Saturday morning we'd be going to golf, so they wouldn't go. But in my adult life, I try as best as possible to bring everybody in my life into the sport. My husband is now playing because I've brought him in. My cousins are trying to play. My cousin recently bought a set of her own clubs, even though I brought her into an event a few months ago, and she was like, "This is it. I'm doing it." So not only in my private life, but also in the work that I do with Black women golfers, I create so much space for women to join us on the golf course.
Okay, so the first easy P to get women into golf is people. What's the second P?
The second P is places. Now, where you go really has an impact on how much you're going to enjoy the game. So I have 5 places that I think are really good entry points. The first is mini putt. Don't let anybody tell you that mini putt is not a legitimate form of golf. You have to putt on 18 out of 18 holes on a golf course. So mini putt skills are essential. So it's a great starting place for folks who just want to try something for the first time. It is legitimate. It's part of learning. The second is indoor golf. Try a golf sim. There's so many games that are embedded into a lot of the technologies that golf sims use. So have fun with it. Don't feel like you have to go and recreate an on-course experience. Go and play a zombie game. It's always fun. The third piece is community putting greens. If there are community putting greens in your area, go and have some fun. You get to meet some new people. You get to try what actual green grass, what grass feels like outside on a real putting green versus on AstroTurf. It's always really fun. The fourth are golf ranges. So now we're getting to, more of the outdoors, green grass spaces. Golf ranges can be attached to actual 18 or 9 hole courses, but aren't always. So just go get a bucket of balls, take some friends and give it a try. And the last one is, if you're ready, try a par 3 course. They're always super fun.
Love the par 3 courses. In Vancouver here, we have 3 of them. As I mentioned earlier, that invitation piece that I would invite people up rather than let's play 18 holes on a par 72 course, and you've never played a golf course, never played golf before.
No.
I've said this for years on Mod Golf. I use the analogy of skiing or snowboarding. It's like we're close to Whistler and Blackcomb here. So it's like saying, okay, Amaya, you've never skied before. We're going up to Whistler today. You're like, okay. So we're going to rent all the equipment and do that experience and $150 for that. And then we get on a lift, which is very difficult to get on without falling off or injuring yourself or being intimidated. But then we start to go up and you point down and go, Colin, well, there's that little area with that magic carpet where people are just learning to stand up. It's like, nope, we're not doing that. We keep going up and we go past a green run and you're like, how about that? It's like, no. A blue run? No. Black diamond? What is that? It's like, no. It's like, no, we're going off the backside of the bowl, straight vertical, double black diamond experience. And you're like, what? And that's your first experience. So with golf, I equate to showing up to a full golf course at a club, first tee, the driver in your hand, with people eating lunch out on the terrace watching you. That is a scary double black diamond golf experience, which is awful. It's like, what type of marketing for the sport is that? Why would anybody want to do that a second time, if even a first time? So like you talked about, let's do the bunny hills. The bunny hills of golf is the best way to start.
That is the best comparison I've ever heard. And I am slightly triggered because the first time I ever went skiing was at Sunshine Valley in Banff. And my friend was not a big skier either, but she still took us up the slopes the first time. And I was like, what am I doing? What is happening here?
Yep.
Have I skied since? No.
Well, there we have it. So that's been confirmed there. Okay. So
definitely.
There we go. If you want to steal that analogy, it's free. It's open source.
I am definitely going to steal that. Thank you.
Feel free. Okay. You've got one more P here. What's the third one?
Platforms. So in this world, in this digital world, use platforms to engage with golf in ways that feel fun and exciting for you. So whether it's finding your favorite golf tip person on YouTube, or whether it's following your favorite golf influencer on social media, TikTok, Instagram, find those people that resonate with you, that make golf feel fun, sound interesting, and plug into those folks. Because one day they might inspire you to actually try it. One day they'll say something that might trigger, oh, okay, maybe I might try this. And that will be the moment. So the 3 Ps ends with platforms.
Love that. Quick story. When I was in Ireland in May, and I was speaking at a golf conference in Belfast, but I landed in Dublin and spent a day down there. And I just played a round of golf at a public course. And they sent me out. I was by myself, which I didn't want to do. And I went to the first tee, and there was this young guy who's like 18, 19 years old. And he was there. He had his earbuds in. He was ready to play a round of golf by himself. And I asked if I can join. And we played the round together. And I asked him the question very early on. It's like, what's his connection to golf? And he was going to school for sports physiotherapy, loved football, soccer. And that's ultimately what he wanted to do. His dream was to be a sports physiotherapist for a premiership team. Nothing to do with golf. He'd only golfed for 2 years, and he was already down to an 8 handicap. So, but he loved to play, so out there all the time. And I asked him, I said, well, how did you get into golf? And he said he started watching during COVID YouTube golf. So it was these content creators, not the LPGA or PGA tour players. Nothing to do with that at all. It wasn't a friend. It wasn't their dad in that case there. It was that, and having that connection and the growth of content creation, it's just expanding. And I was covering that on Mod Golf a couple weeks ago of what's gone on. It's even blowing up even more. I find that really interesting. I know that's only one story, but here's this young person, his intro to golf and what connected him and him wanting to pick up a club for the first time was content creators on YouTube.
You see, it's such an influential space. It's the world we live in. We're always on our screens. So pick those influencers or those creators that resonate with you and continue watching. One day, hopefully they'll inspire you to pick up the sport. You know what? I want to add a bonus fourth.
Okay.
And this can be cut if you want to, but professional. I feel like seek out a PGA professional close to you who can give you a great set of fundamentals. I love and admire folks that picked up golf in their adulthood and are just working their way through this sport. They have no idea what they're doing. I give so much props to those folks because I knew I grew up with a structured program, people who cared, coaches who wanted to see me have the fundamentals baked in. So one of the things I'd say, and maybe it doesn't fit in this list because it's not always easy and it costs money, but it is a really important thing to have those fundamentals. So seeking out a professional near you and to make it more affordable, as I mentioned earlier, with people doing a group class might be a really great entry point for you.
And it also has that social aspect too. And I know speaking to a lot of women and men is no surprise. We are wired differently, where women love to gravitate towards, if it can have it a social experience around golf, that's just part of the secret sauce that makes it all happen with those group lessons there, especially with people that are at the same level as you. And I can attest personally, you can see there's enough gray in this beard that when I first picked up golf, and I didn't grow up around golf at all. No one in my family played. I played other team sports growing up in Greater Toronto, and I could not aim far enough left with my banana ball. I played a lot of baseball at a high level, so I had a baseball swing, and I have struggled for decades with hundreds of thousands of bad swings of getting rid of that stuff from the muscle memory. And when I hear stories, I've had other people from Golf Canada that have got into golf, or once they started working for Golf Canada in their 30s or 40s, played golf for the first time. It's like, oh yeah, well, the first thing I did was take a lesson, and they're already down to like a 10 handicap, and I'm stuck at a 16. I'm like, I love that so much, but I flip and hate you because I did that. So I agree completely. Is get some instruction, even in a group setting where it's more cost effective. There's lots of platforms and apps out there. Yes, one-on-one and personalized is the best, but even if there's so many tools out there now that are more cost effective, and some are even free that can get you on the right path with that.
I agree.
Okay, well, that was your 3 easy P's to get into golf with a bonus P. So really it was 4.
Yeah,
so there you go.
It doesn't rhyme. So, I mean, 3 with a bonus. Yes.
There we go. I like that. That's the way we're rolling here. Okay, to finish up, we have one more segment here, and we're calling this segment where Canadian golf stats, Colin will guess wrong. So we're going to flip around the microphone. So you're the one asking the questions this time. So fire away and let's see how we can get. I know we have a lot of viewers and listeners that are American friends. A lot of, well, really North America is the bulk of our audience here. So I know a lot of my American friends, when I tell them a few of the stats that I know correctly with Canadian golf, they're blown away with that. So let's continue to blow minds and hopefully me get kind of one closely right with a number. So go for it.
So, Colin, how familiar would you say you are with the Canadian golf landscape and participation?
Last time I heard the numbers it might have been pre-COVID. I know things have completely changed. That feels like a million years ago. So I want to say I know them pretty well, but that's probably a complete lie. So I'm going to say on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe a 5.
A 5. Okay, so we're kind of midway. Okay, so let's start with a fun one that you wouldn't have heard anywhere, but you're going to give it your best guess. So the first one is, what was the most rounds posted by an individual in Canada in 2025?
Okay. Well, if I remember correctly from school, there's 365 days in a year.
Yes.
I'm going to say there's a handful of people that averaged more than one round a day. That's where I'm going to go with this. So
Okay.
I'm going to say someone averaged almost 1.5. I'm going to say 403.
A lot closer than I thought you'd be, but still a little bit low.
What?
So guess again.
Oh my gosh. Well, 2 rounds a day, every day, 36 a day. That would be like 730 rounds a year. There's no way. There's like, I would say that's probably more than I played all in my entire life.
Same.
I'm going to dial it back a little bit from there. Since the way you're kind of looking at me there, I think I was still crazy low. I'm going to say it's going to be in the low 600s. I'm going to say 612.
Now you've gone a little bit too over. So you've gone under and over. And the sweet spot was actually at the time that I checked 2 weeks ago, and they were still playing. So I haven't checked the updated number today.
You're not over yet. Yep.
But it was 506.
That is bonkers. 506?
506 rounds played by one individual in Canada in 2025 so far, because I still think they're playing.
They must be on the West Coast where you can play all year round. They'd absolutely have to be, because you just play when it's rainy and, well, 3 or 4 degrees. That's like 40 degrees for our American friends, where most people are like, I ain't playing. Because right now, everywhere else in the country, you're already under snow. So golf is done.
Exactly, for most of us. But this guy, he's out here enjoying life.
On the West Coast, very close to Vancouver, they'd have to be.
Yes, you are correct.
Wow, that is a lot of rounds. Obviously, someone is retired.
Well, this is the assumption. So no personal data being shared, but that is the question and the assumption.
Okay, so again, the number was how many?
506 as of early December.
Wow.
Right.
That is dedication.
I
love golf.
I
look at it like I like champagne, but would I want it with every meal?
No, I'd say no. It's a hard no. I feel like I'd fall out of love after so much golf. I just feel like there's a point where it's like, what are we doing here?
I think so. It's like, I love the dedication though. That is crazy.
I do. Okay, so that was question number 1. That wasn't too bad. You went under, you went over, so there was like a sweet spot in the middle of your answer.
I still guessed it wrong, so I'm 0 for 1. Or 1 for 1 if I get a point for guessing it wrong.
Absolutely not.
No, we're not playing the game that way.
Absolutely not. I don't know what rules you make for the games you play. But they seem pretty opposite.
I'm trying to make it so I win is what I'm doing.
All right. So question number 2. What percentage of Canadians are reported to have used golf simulators in 2024?
Percentage of Canadians. So we're talking everyone from...
That we have reports for, yes.
Okay. Is this of the entire population? There's about 40 million people in Canada. So we're talking everyone from little babies in diapers to my 99-year-old dad?
Do you know what? That is a really great question to clarify the data. I'm assuming that we're talking about adults.
Okay.
But I don't know. I can't verify for sure that we are. It can't be babies, but let's go with adults.
Because that would probably be close to 0. That one I probably got right. I'm just saying. Especially the simulator thing. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So to clarify, so this is indoor simulator. We're not talking about for all combined golf experiences. This is just for simulators. What percentage of Canadian adults
are using
2025 or 2024?
2024.
Okay. Because I think this year the number will be even higher because it's just exploding everywhere in the world, especially North America. Okay. I'm going to say... So look at my I'm probably going to be low on this. I'm going to say 18%.
Ooh, definitely very low. Try one more time.
That was low?
That was low.
Of all Canadians, all adults?
Do you know what? The data I have just says what percentage of Canadians used golf simulators in 2024.
And that's low.
That's low.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to say 29%.
Still low. The answer is...
What?
The data that I have here says the percentage of Canadians that used golf simulators in 2024 is 43%.
Wow.
That is the data I have.
I guess I better go open up my golf simulator business like now.
I guess so. I mean, when we're thinking about the seasonality of Canada, right? We've got 6 months out of a year that we're able, or we should, or we want to be playing golf indoors because we can't play golf indoors, right? So that's a long period of time for people to have entry points. So golf is now a 24, it's now a 12-month out of the year sport because of indoor golf. So I guess 43 is high though. It's high.
Wow. And
Yeah.
like we said, 2025, there's even more facilities, more awareness that may be over 50% now. So
Oh,
we'll
wouldn't
have to
that
have
be
you on
great?
a year from now so I can answer all these questions wrong again.
Yeah, no, we've got one more to go.
There we go. Okay, I'm 0 for 2. Okay, last one. What do you got for me?
Okay. This is a participation question again. How many children participated in first tee programming in Canada across the whole country in 2025?
What is the age bracket of those children, please?
7 to 13.
Okay. Well, since you're a powerhouse in Ontario, you were leading the way and continue to do that, I'm sure it's going to be way higher because you've got that energy to make things happen. I'm going to say 39%.
Oh, sorry. As a total number, not a percentage.
Oh, dang it. Okay. Okay. Well, that was probably wrong anyway.
That was a great guess. I would love if 39% of all children 7 to 13 were.
Well, I just see what you're doing here. I've been low every time, and you just make stuff happen. So I figured it's got to be 100% of children. Every one of them had a club in their hand last year. That's your goal. I know that's your 5 to 10 year dream.
The first tee team that works for Golf Canada does an amazing job across the entire country, and I miss them immensely as team members, but they continue to do amazing work.
Love this. Okay, well, that was my way of stalling as my brain is trying to come up with a number. So this is an actual number of children. I'm going to thinking that age group. How many are there? Yeah,
We've all, and the program has been in operation.
Okay, no hints here. No hints.
Okay,
I can get this wrong all on my own. Thank you very much.
Sorry.
Okay. I'm going to say 850,000.
Oh, wow. Whoa. Hold on. That was way high. Okay.
Well, you need to work harder then, because that's what the number should be.
I agree with you. Okay. I need to get off this podcast to go back to work is what I need to do.
You do. Come on.
No.
Slacker.
So let's go. Let's go a little lower. Maybe a lot lower.
I'm going to say, well, it sounds like I was ridiculously high. I'm going to say 123,000.
Close, 106,000.
Okay. Well, are you going to give me that one? Was that a good? Was that a gimme? Was that within gimme range?
It was within gimme range. You did have one guess before, but I guess if if we're giving you 2 guesses and you did guess the second one correctly, I can give you a mark.
You give me
so
one.
You got 1 out of 3.
See, you want to end with a positive experience, just like with golf. You want me coming back for more.
That's true.
You
so
don't want
yes,
me to be one and done. Otherwise, I will never ever have this segment on my YouTube channel ever again.
Oh my God.
So there we have it. Canadian golf stats. Colin will guess wrong and did guess wrong, even though he got a mulligan and a gimme to go 1 for 3 here. So I appreciate you.
Thank you for participating in this. This was very fun.
Well, what we planned on being about a 12-minute conversation is turned into 37 minutes because this has been so much flippin' fun that I just couldn't stop. And hopefully if we're laughing and having a good time, that our viewers are too. So on that note, hey, if you're watching here, let me see if I can bring this up here because I am the executive director while I'm pushing buttons and pulling levers here and twisting knobs while I'm actually talking away here. Obviously not talking very well. So, hey, if you like what we're doing here in Mod Golf, you know what? Show us a little bit of love here. Like the channel, like this video, subscribe to the channel. And hey, leave a comment. Let us know what you would like us to cover. Maybe you got some great ideas because you know what? I'm always starved for ideas. I need an idea person. So if you want me to have more amazing people that are connected to golf, like Amaya is here, then please watch. That's what we ask for here. So on that note, Amaya, thanks so much for joining me, not only on the Mod Golf YouTube channel, but also earlier today on the Mod Golf podcast. And as I always do, in the description and also in the comments, I will leave the link to that, because that was an awesome conversation too. Really dug into your history with golf that we didn't touch on here. We were just too busy being silly and you asking questions that I had no idea what the right answers were. But hopefully we've all learned something here while we've had some fun today.
I've had so much fun. This has been so joyful, so fun. Thank you for being curious about my story. Thank you for inviting me on. Thank you for sharing stories about golf and being open to having conversations about golf in Canada. I'm so happy to have been part of this. And yeah, thank you again.
It is absolutely my pleasure. So to finish up here, of course, I've got, and I'll just show this, of course, connect with where you spend most of your daytime, work
All
life,
of my
with
daytime, yes.
golfcanada.ca. But we also have with Black women golfers. So
My
I'm
evenings
not
and
going to put it up on
weekends.
screen, but on Instagram, what is your handle there that people can find? And I'll also include that afterwards for people.
My Instagram handle is golf_interrupted. And my the Black Women Golfers group is Black Women Golfers, all one word, on Instagram.
Love that. So I'll include that in the show notes. And even in post-production, we'll do some fancy graphics and we'll pull that up on screen to make it nice and easy for people to find you and connect. So with that, thank you again for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. And once the snow gets off the ground, next time I'm in Toronto, maybe we can go tee it up. If you can endure spending some time with a 16 handicapper, I'd love
Absolutely.
to tee it up.
I would love that. Let me know when you're in town next. I would absolutely love it.
That would be so much fun. Again, thank you so much and have a great day.
You also.